Hi guys, how are you doing today? So I'm super excited for this video because it's going to be a full face of Wet n Wild. I've been meaning to film this video forever, but I just kept putting it off because it's just a lot of time to sit down and do a full face of makeup. I feel like every time I do a video, I've always got my brows done already, or I've done my face, and I'm doing my eyes with y'all or whatever it is, just to make it shorter. Today is going to be a long one, I'm sure. I've used a lot of these products, but a few I picked up specifically for this video, so they're still in packaging and stuff, so some of this is first impressions, but majority I've got a really good feel and I can review it for you as I go on. The first thing that I'm going to be using is the Coverall primer, and I actually heard really good things about this. I have not tried it yet. I don't know why, it's just been sitting here and I've just been waiting for this video to use it. But this is the primer that I'm going to be using today. It's very lotiony, so I'm just going to take a bit of that, spread it evenly on my face. So it feels nice. Like I said, it kind of feels like lotion. It does not have a silicone feel to it at all. So I feel like this is going to be more on the hydrating side. Just from feeling it, it's very creamy. Alright, so while we let that sit and soak into the skin before we do foundation, I'm going to use this eyebrow pencil which I picked up. It's just called the Brow Pencil, and I got the shade Blonde Moments. So here's what it looks like. It just has the pencil on one end and the spoolie on the other. It's pigmented. It doesn't look too cool toned. I'm barely even stroking, I'm going so light. It's ridiculous, but a lot of pigment is picking up. Yeah, I'm trying to do a natural inner part of my brow, but it's just not quite happening. It's just a little too pigmented. It kind of is flaking a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's already completely lost its shape. It looks like I've used it a lot. Alright, so it's not horrible, but I'm definitely not in love by any means. It's very warm, which I'm surprised because it's called Blonde Moments, which, I mean, it ends up working out with my hair because I'm a redhead, but if you were looking for more of a taupe shade, this would not work at all for you. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. And I don't want to go into any of these products, especially the ones I haven't tried, with a negative mind, because Wet n Wild is truly one of my favorite drugstore brands. Actually, they are my favorite brand at the drugstore, but I just feel like eyebrow pencils are hard to get right. So I guess I should do my face, oh my gosh, you guys, my skin feels so smooth right now. It feels amazing. I actually think I'm going to do my eyes before I do my face, just in case I have any fallout, but I am going to go ahead and take the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. This is the shade Light Ivory. This is the lightest shade they have. You guys can see it's a little dark for me. I can make it work, but it does not highlight me at all, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to use this to conceal underneath my brows a little. And I'm going to be using, I think this is the small concealer brush. They don't have names on any of their brushes, which sucks, but I am using all their brushes for this tutorial since they're really affordable and really good. And I'll talk more about them as I go, but if you guys are wondering why I have scratches all over my face, that would be my son. He loves to grab my face right now. That's a stage he's in. But now I'm taking the Photo Focus eyeshadow primer. I actually love this. I have been using it for weeks now, and it's so good, you would not expect for, I think it was $4 or something like that, but it's really nice. So I just took a little dollop. I'm just gonna share that between my two fingers and then just spread that in. Alrighty, now for eyeshadow, I have a lot of options and I'm not sure what I want to go with. So I've got the Au Naturel palette, which I've not used all that much. It just looks like this. I think I've only used it once. And then I've got the Petal Pusher palette, which you guys can see I actually have used. I love this purple shade here. And then I have the Comfort Zone palette, which is really nice too. Just looks like that. You guys can see I've obviously used the duochrome shade there. And then I have this last one, which is This is like sentimental to me. This is called Sweet as Candy. This is actually the second one I have because the first one I completely used up. It just looks like this. And when I was in high school, this was the eyeshadow that I wore every single day. I put the brown in my crease, I put the pink all over my lid, and then I'd highlight with the white shade. Every single day, this was my this was like my go-to palette. Which is like another thing I love about Wet n Wild is they were like one of the first brands I could actually afford. So I have so many like little sentimental things from them that I think about, but this was my go-to, so I'll probably end up using the highlight shade, or at least for this tutorial. Okay, we're just gonna start and see where it goes. I'm gonna start off with my Wet n Wild crease brush. I actually own 3 of them because this is my favorite, but this is one of the things I wanted to tell you guys about that I don't like about the brushes. Their brushes are incredibly soft, but the only thing is that they definitely stain. You guys can see the one that is like not stained is right here. It's like light pink, and these ones have orange tips. No matter how I wash it, it still stays stained, which sucks, because like you can go through the brushes and like some of them look really nice and pretty, and then others just have like the tinge to them. So that is something to keep in mind. But I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with this palette, and I'm gonna take this lightest shade, and I'm just gonna dust that all over to set the primer. I feel like there's no like good transition colors in here. Like the only one is the gray, and that's like the only option. All these are shimmer, but I'm just gonna go in with this gray just to try it out. Like I said, I have not used this palette much. I got it like forever ago, but have not been using it, so. Okay, that's not as cool toned as I thought it was gonna be. It looks more neutral on the eye, so that's fine. So I'm just buffing that shade into my crease. I'm not being very precise at all. Next, I'm just gonna take this purple shade right here, this burgundy, just because I'm feeling it. And I'm gonna use that in my outer V. The pigment is definitely there. Since there's less product on the brush now because I've deposited most of it, I'm just gonna blend upwards a little bit just to make sure it's all blended out. I really want to take the duochrome shade, but I feel like that's what like everyone knows. So I think I'll just take this copper shade right here. Again, so much pigment, and I did not spray my brush or wet the eyeshadow or do anything. So I want to like deepen this up a little bit, so I'm going to go into the Petal Pusher palette, and I think I'm going to use this like dark purple here. It has like sparkles in it, but that's okay. And there's not like really like a precise little crease brush. I'm just going to use a clean one and just like hope for the best and like be as careful as I can because this is really pigmented. So that's what we've got going on so far. I feel like it's pretty, but I actually do think I'm going to go ahead and wet this shade that I originally went with on my lid, just because I want it to be like extra intense. So I'm just going to pick some product up, and I'm going to use the Wet n Wild setting spray, of course, and just spray that brush a little bit. And here we go. Ooh, that's nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this highlight shade, this brow bone shade right here. I mean, it's not as amazing as I remember. It's pretty chalky, but it still has just like the perfect amount of like subtle glow for a brow bone shade, so I still think it works perfectly. I already like dirtied all of my like eye brushes. What am I going to use? I guess I'm just going to use my last clean fluffy brush. This is not something I would normally use, but you know, I'm just trying to use only Wet n Wild, so I'm just gonna pull my brow bone up a little bit and just go right there. See, just a like really nice soft brow bone shade. So I did end up getting just a little bit of fallout with the gold shade, which is fine. I'll wipe that off in a minute. But now I'm going to go into this felt tip eyeliner. It just looks like this. And it's just supposed to be what it says, a felt tip eyeliner. Oh, buddy, stop. And my son is trying to make emergency calls. Here you go, buddy. You can have my phone, but you can't call the police. So here's the eyeliner. I literally never ever, I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this, but I saw it in the little display and I was like, you know, I could use some eyeliner. So here goes a first impression. Let me pull my mirror nice and close. Sorry if you guys can't see amazing what I'm doing, but I suck at liner, so. Okay. Looks pigmented. That is nice and black. Okay, that was pretty easy to create a little wing with. Nothing huge or dramatic, but okay. All right, so my thoughts on the eyeliner. Is it the easiest eyeliner I've ever used? No, but it's pigmented. It's relatively easy. The wings weren't hard to create. I don't know if my eyeliner is even. Let's be honest, it's like never even. I definitely think you can get the job done with this. So I would recommend trying it out for the price. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take the MAC Fanatic Cat Eye Mascara. Just looks like this. And I'm just gonna use this on my top lashes because I got a different one for my bottom, which I'm really excited to try. But we can go ahead and try this out now. See if it's any good. They had a lot of mascara options actually. That's what the wand looks like. It's kind of funny looking. I don't think I've ever seen one like that. It looks like, I don't know, it looks like a little brush. It's weird. Guys, this is legitimately weird. It feels like I'm just like brushing out my eyebrows or my eyelashes. Like it's not like a normal brush at all. Crap, I just got a ton of mascara in my crease. Give me length, but no volume. Okay. All right. It's okay, but there's other mascaras at the drugstore I'd rather get. So next I'm gonna do the Photo Focus Foundation in Porcelain, and I love this. It's actually light enough for me, which is amazing. At the drugstore, it's really hard to find. Their foundation was one of the first foundations I ever wore, and it was so orange. I regret wearing that foundation so much now. I can't even remember what it was called, but I'll put it on screen if I can find a picture. But oh gosh, it was so bad, so orange. I don't know why I picked that foundation, but now if you're shopping at the drugstore, you have this wonderful option, thank goodness. This is the only part I'm gonna cheat on just a little bit. I find the foundation to be more on the matte side, and I have dry skin, so that's just not the greatest look for me. So you could definitely apply with the Wet n Wild foundation brush, which I have right here just to show you, which is decent for other foundations, but for this one I just have to apply with a sponge, or else I don't like the way it looks on my skin. So I am going to be using the L'Oreal sponge today, which is still affordable, but I do feel bad I'm cheating just a little bit. But I'm just waiting for Wet n Wild to come out with a sponge that has everyone shook. I know that they're capable of it, of coming out with an amazing affordable sponge. I'm just waiting for them to do it, so when they do, that's what I'll use. But for now I'm going to use the L'Oreal one because I was debating on using the other one just for the sake of the video, but I truly don't like the way it looks without a sponge. So I actually kind of like the little tool on the foundation bottle too, and then just blending that in. I'm going to go into the concealer, which I already told you guys the shade, but I'm just gonna do that under my eyes. You guys can see it's a little dark. I wish that they came out with a lighter concealer, especially considering they have a lighter foundation shade. So you think that, you know, they would have had enough for both, because this is like a little darker than me. It's not even the same shade quite, so I can make it work. But that's the one thing about the drugstore, is I can never find concealer that actually matches me. So disappointed but not surprised. I'm gonna go ahead and just, I haven't used this for concealer before, but I'm gonna try out the small stipple brush just for the purpose of using this instead of the sponge. It's so dark. Oh. Okay, I'm just using the sponge, I'm sorry. So now I'm gonna go in with some cream product before I set my face. I have two cream highlighters. One is the, this is the Megaglow Illuminating Stick, just looks like this. And I'll swatch it for you guys. There it is right there. It's pretty, but you guys can see when I turn my hand, it's too dark. When it hits the light, it's beautiful, but the undertone is just a little too dark for me, so I'm not going to use that today. And then I have this one, which I love. It's their cushion highlighter. It's so pretty. So it's called Girl Meets Pearl. Taking it off. Just looks like this, and then, gosh, I feel like you can barely even see it when I do that, but it's so pretty. So there it is right there. It's more subtle. It's kind of like a glossy look. I also have the contour stick, and this is the shade Oaks on You. I haven't used this a whole bunch, but I guess I'll use it today just for the purpose of trying it. I'm not really a huge fan of stick type things, so that's what that looks like. It's very warm, so I'll just use it to bronze a little bit. So I'll do that before I do highlighter. It's actually a little loose because when it came, it was like detached, so I had to like smush it back in there. Oh my gosh, it's pigmented. So I'm just gonna bronze around this area, and that's it. Okay, I feel like a stippling brush is not dense enough to really blend this out the way I want it to, so I'm just gonna go in with my finger and just blend in circular motions. See how much easier that is? Now for Girl Meets Pearl, I'm just gonna use this like bigger concealer brush just for the sake of trying it for this video, or just using it. I guess I could have used this for my eyeshadow primer, but I didn't think about it. So you guys can see. I know I probably shouldn't be putting this on top of my cut because it will emphasize it, but nothing's gonna stop me from glowing. So it's just such a natural glow, but I love layering it with other highlighter over top. Right, so that is everything for the cream products. Now we're gonna go into these contour palettes, which I just want to talk about for a minute. I just want to talk about this Wet n Wild. So these are the old ones, which I love. There is Dulce de Leche and Caramel Toffee. I actually love one shade from both. So Caramel Toffee, this contour shade is perfect for contouring. And then for Dulce de Leche, the contour shade's a little warm for me, but this highlighting shade is amazing. It is light enough for me, but it's yellow toned. I freaking love it so much. Like, it's so good. And then they discontinued these and came out with different colors. I don't have the other one, but I bought this one just to compare. Do you see the difference? These are both called Caramel Toffee. They're not even the same product at all. Look how, like, it's, maybe this would be nice for someone with deeper skin tones, but they just discontinued the other ones. I wish they would have released more colors or done something like that instead of getting rid of these two, because I love them so much, and you know how hard it is. And you know how hard it is to find stuff for fair skin, like at the drugstore, like under eye setting powder. So I'm gonna use the old ones because it's what I have. I can't tell you guys how disappointed I was when they did that. I know it's kind of old news, like it happened like a year ago, but I'm still upset. So I'm just taking the yellow shade underneath my eye right now. Just setting. As far as all over powder options, I have two. One is more matte and one is a different option. This one is the warm light powder. It's a mess because I dropped it and I'm almost like already done with it, so I don't know if I'm going to use this one today, but I have it in warm light. And then they have the Color Icon bronzer, which this is not a bronzer. This is actually a cool product. You can use it super light as an all over setting powder, kind of like the Hourglass powders, or you can use it built up as a highlighter for like a really subtle glow. So I think today I'm just gonna take it on like my little stippling, or my big stippling brush, and I'm just gonna do like a very all over type set, and it's just gonna add like a little soft sheen to my face. So if you have oily skin, this probably won't work as well for you, but you can use it as a highlighter and it's beautiful. Here, now I'm gonna take the other side of Dulce de Leche and I'm gonna bronze. Oh man, I forgot. I was gonna use this brush. Their Kabuki brush is actually literally amazing. Like, it's so good for blending. Okay, so my camera stopped recording. I don't know how long it's been. I sincerely apologize for not noticing, but I'm about to go into blush, and I'm going to use, I'm not sure. I have 3 different options. These are all really beautiful. I'll swatch them for you. This is Mai Tai Buy You a Drink. It's like a nice peachy orangey blush. This would be a better highlight if you are not my skin tone, because it is pretty light, but it's really pretty. And then this is Apricot in the middle, which it kind of has a peachy tone too, but it's a little bit darker. And then last but not least is, this is so beautiful, this is Rose Champagne. So you guys can see they're all like the same tone, which doesn't quite go with what I'm doing today, but I think I'm gonna do Rose Champagne. Before I go in with highlighter and lips, I'm just going to finish underneath my eyes. Not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to start off with this cool tone transition shade that we used. This is like the large fluffy eyeshadow brush or something like that, and I'm just going to fluff that. I'm going to go in with a little bit of the burgundy on that. Easy peasy. And then for the inner corner of the eye, I'm going to use this highlighter. Looks like this, way too dark for my face. This is called Lilac to Reality, and I'm just going to take the same brush I used for concealer and just kind of wipe it off and use it for this, and kind of mix the purple in the outside and the inside. Just put that on my inside of my lid, just for a pop of something different. A lot of highlighter options from Wet n Wild. You guys can see all of these. The problem is that they never match my skin. I cannot tell you how excited I was when I found Precious Petals, and then it was too dark for me. So not a fan of the fact that all their highlighters are so dark. The Sweetest Bling is like borderline for me. The only one I found that works is Blossom Glow. So we're gonna put that on using their Unicorn brush. I love this highlight. It's like so pretty, and I really like this brush too. Bam. Now I'm gonna go in with lip liner. They have these 3 nude options. I love these gel lip liners so much. Today I'm gonna go into the shade Never Petal Down, which just looks like this. It's like a pretty pink, and then I'm going to use their liquid lipstick in Rebel Rose, and I'm gonna put these 2 together. So I really do like these liquid lipsticks once they dry down. The only thing I don't like about them is that they take forever to dry down. So you definitely want to give them a few minutes, but once you do, they're pretty nice. So that is everything for this Wet n Wild one brand tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Okay, I just realized I forgot to do the setting spray. This is really good. I'm almost out. Really good for the drugstore. Kind of has a funny smell. It's a like really strong alcohol smell, but really good. All right, now I'm done. Have a great day, y'all.